as of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. That's a tremendous fight. It was released, PBC. Manny Pacquiao first title was the flyweight WBC, and he wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman recently announced that Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao in a highly anticipated fight scheduled for July. After announcing the fight, Sulaiman boldly highlighted Pacquiao's shocking return to the ring after retirement, stirring up controversy and raising eyebrows. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao, he has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen, he stated. Despite being retired, Pacquiao's return is a bold move that fans and critics are eagerly watching. With the WBC's full backing, this fight promises to be a dramatic clash, as Pacquiao fights for more than just a victory, but for his legacy. Following the announcement, UFC legend Daniel Cormier weighed in on the situation, adding his own perspective to the controversy surrounding Pacquiao's return.
So it's true, Barrios and Pacquiao fighting in July. I told y'all, man, that was the rumor, but Sulaiman confirmed it. Pacquiao wants to retire the WBC champion. I'm rooting for Barrios, though. I like Pacquiao, but I got to go with Barrios.
Cormier made it clear that the fight confirmed by Sulaiman wasn't the one that had been rumored, expressing his support for Barrios. While many are focused on Pacquiao's return, Cormier doesn't hesitate to back the underdog in this match. His confidence in Barrios adds fuel to the fire, challenging the assumption that Pacquiao's comeback is a guaranteed victory. The fight is shaping up to be more than just a battle of legends. It's a battle of opinions, with Cormier firmly rooting for the younger fighter. As the conversation around Pacquiao's comeback continues to heat up, promoter Eddie Hearn also shared his thoughts on the matter, adding to the debate.
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was.
Hearn acknowledges that while Pacquiao may not be the fighter he once was, he still believes the legend has enough in the tank to challenge many in the top 20 of the welterweight division. However, the age factor can't be ignored, and Hearn doesn't sugarcoat the reality of Pacquiao's decline. His comments stir the pot, especially with the hype surrounding the return. It's clear that while respect for Pacquiao's legacy is there, many are questioning whether he can still compete at the highest level. As the debate over Pacquiao's return rages on, Eddie Hearn raises more concerns about the timing of the comeback.
My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question.
Hearn points out that Pacquiao's inactivity over the past few years is a major factor, and each passing month only adds to his age. While he believes Pacquiao could still handle fighters outside the top 20, he questions whether the Filipino icon should be stepping back into the ring for a world title shot. Hearn's words spark further controversy, highlighting the risks of such a return. The question now isn't just whether Pacquiao is good enough to compete, but whether he should be aiming for the highest honors at this stage of his career. As the conversation continues to unfold, Hearn dives deeper into the commercial and rating side of things, offering a more business-driven perspective. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably yes, Hearn commented. He acknowledges that in the commercial world of boxing, it makes sense for Pacquiao to return, as the hype and money will follow. However, when it comes to the actual rankings and activity in the sport, Hearn remains more cautious, suggesting that the return might not hold the same weight. This comment sharpens the divide between the financial allure of Pacquiao's comeback and the realities of his performance in the ring. It's clear that while the business side of boxing might push for his return, the sporting world has its doubts. After addressing the commercial and ranking concerns, Hearn didn't hold back when discussing Pacquiao's upcoming opponent, Mario Barrios.
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up.
Hearn pointed out that while Barrios is a solid fighter, he is no match for the likes of Jaron Boots Ennis or Terence Crawford. He emphasized that Pacquiao's fight against Barrios is still a step up compared to previous contenders like Conor Benn, whose best wins were against lesser competition. Hearn's comparison underlines that while Pacquiao is not in his prime, he still brings a level of skill and experience that's beyond what Benn has faced. It's clear Hearn feels Pacquiao is stepping into the ring with a more worthy opponent, despite his time away. As the discussion over Pacquiao's return intensifies, former champion Tim Bradley shared his own take on why the legend is stepping back into the ring.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One. Two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter.
Bradley made it clear that money is a significant factor in Pacquiao's decision, especially given the financial draw of such a high-profile fight. He also pointed out that despite Pacquiao's age, his C game is still better than many fighters at games. However, Bradley didn't shy away from highlighting that Pacquiao's last performance against Yordenis Ugas was lackluster, where he was outclassed by a younger, hungrier fighter. Bradley's comments reinforced the skepticism around Pacquiao's return, questioning whether he's truly ready for the spotlight again. While Bradley had his doubts about Pacquiao's return, he also gave credit to Mario Barrios, the man set to face the legend in the ring.
Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back.
Bradley made it clear that Barrios should not be underestimated, calling him a skilled and dangerous fighter. He highlighted Barrios' youth, size, and his ability to control distance and land powerful punches. The welterweight division is stacked with talent, but Bradley believes Barrios could be a real challenge for anyone in that weight class. This adds another layer of complexity to the fight, as it's not just about Pacquiao's return, but how he matches up against a strong opponent like Barrios. Bradley continued to express his concerns about Pacquiao's decision to return, particularly against an opponent like Mario Barrios.
After this long, and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again.
He pointed out the dangers of facing a young, hungry fighter after such a long break from the ring. Bradley believes that Pacquiao might need to experience a few tough losses before deciding to retire for good. He suggested that Barrios could potentially finish Pacquiao and send him back into retirement for good. Bradley's warning highlights the risks of this comeback, as Barrios presents a real threat to the aging legend, and the outcome could have major consequences for Pacquiao's future. Despite the concerns surrounding Pacquiao's age and ring rust, Bradley acknowledges that the legend still has a weapon that could turn the fight in his favor.
But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
He pointed out that Pacquiao's power, especially his left hand, could still be a dangerous tool if it's still intact. While Bradley is skeptical of Pacquiao's overall abilities at this stage, he believes that if Pacquiao lands that punch, he could hurt Barrios and change the course of the fight. However, Bradley is quick to emphasize that landing that punch won't be easy, given the challenges of age and ring inactivity. It's a gamble, but one that Pacquiao might still be willing to take. As the debate over Pacquiao's readiness continues, boxing experts have been weighing in on what would be the best path forward for the legendary fighter. Boxing analyst Ed Tolentino also shared his perspective on the risks surrounding Pacquiao's return. Tolentino stated, "If Pacquiao really wants to fight Mario Barrios for the welterweight championship, I think he needs a tune-up. It would be very risky to go straight to a Barrios fight after what we saw in an exhibition against Anpo." This comment highlights a crucial concern. After such a long layoff and an unimpressive showing in his recent exhibition match, jumping straight into a high-stakes fight with Barrios could be too much for Pacquiao at this stage of his career. A tune-up fight could help him gauge his current form before facing a young and dangerous opponent like Barrios. Greg Hackett also weighed in on Pacquiao's decision to return, offering a blunt take on the situation.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios' ass. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might fuck around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
He suggested that Pacquiao's motivation for coming back might be financial, describing the comeback as Pacquiao trying to hit a lick. Hackett pointed out that in his prime, Pacquiao would have easily beaten a fighter like Barrios, but the situation is different now. With Barrios' momentum and hunger, Hackett believes the younger fighter could dominate Pacquiao on the scorecards, potentially outworking him with his jab and overall technique. While he doesn't predict a knockout, Hackett makes it clear that Barrios could very well come out on top in this battle. Hackett went on to share his perspective on why this fight could be more beneficial for Barrios than Pacquiao.
It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
He admitted that while the fight is a big one, it's more of an opportunity for Barrios to prove himself against a legend like Pacquiao. Pacquiao, on the other hand, doesn't necessarily need this fight, but is eager to make a statement with a big comeback. Hackett also mentioned that if Barrios were his fighter, he'd love to have Pacquiao on his record, recognizing the huge value that comes with defeating a legend. For Barrios, this fight is one he needs to prepare for, as it could be the biggest moment of his career. Hackett further elaborated on why Pacquiao might be looking to make a comeback, bringing up the realities of life in boxing.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, it is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money, and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll fuck with Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them straps. You know what I mean? But I'm not him, he not me. So I can't tell him what to do. But
he pointed out that fighters like Pacquiao want to maximize their earning potential before their careers inevitably end. Hackett argued that while Pacquiao may still be a force, he's at an age where it's an easier fight for younger fighters to take advantage of. He compared it to a fighter's mentality, saying that if he were in Barrios' position, he'd jump at the chance to face Pacquiao to advance his own career. Hackett acknowledges that every fighter has their own mindset, but he makes it clear that the stakes are high, and this could be Barrios' chance to make a statement. As the conversation intensified with various opinions from experts and fighters, Mario Barrios himself expressed his excitement for the fight. "I'm very excited at the possibility of this fight being made. Manny Pacquiao is a future Hall of Famer, a legend, and someone I looked up to growing up. To share the ring with him would be an honor and a dream come true." Despite the doubts about Pacquiao's readiness, Barrios is clearly motivated by the opportunity. This fight is not just another battle, it's a chance to prove himself against one of the greatest fighters of all time. Barrios knows that stepping into the ring with Pacquiao is a massive moment for his career, and he's ready to take full advantage of it. For him, this could be the breakthrough fight that propels him into the elite ranks of the welterweight division. The pressure is on, and Barrios is eager to make his mark, showing the world he belongs at the top. As the anticipation for the fight builds, former champion Jose Ramirez also weighed in on the matchup between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios.
That's good. I mean, that's good fight for Mario Barrios, you know.
Big payday, big fight. But can he win, or is it Pacquiao?
Ramirez stated that this is a huge night for Barrios, emphasizing how important this fight is for his career. He understands the magnitude of stepping into the ring with a legend like Pacquiao, and how it could be a game changer for Barrios if he performs well. Ramirez made it clear that while Pacquiao is still a dangerous opponent, Barrios has the chance to prove himself on a massive stage. The spotlight is on Barrios, and Ramirez believes this fight could define his future in boxing. As opinions continue to pour in, trainer Joel Diaz, who has fought Pacquiao twice in the past, also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Pacquiao and Barrios. Diaz, having faced Pacquiao in the ring, has first-hand experience with his skill and toughness.
Manny Pacquiao fighting again?
July.
Mario Barrios?
Yeah.
Really? That's new to me.
Who wins?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know, because Manny's already his age. Is the age. Mario Barrios is not like one of the greatest. He has a lot of heart. Younger. I mean, he's taking some beatings, but I think it's a fair fight. Based, even though Manny's a little older, but he has speed. He has good footwork. I mean, but you remember, there's a time where a fighter, when a fighter gets that age that kicks in, and I've seen it with Cotto. When Cotto fought, what did Cotto fight? Cotto fought
the guy in New York. No, the kid in New York.
Saddam Ali.
Yes.
Saddam Ali.
And then Jesse Vargas beat Saddam Ali.
Yes.
That's true.
That's why, you know. I mean, you see the fighters doing well, and all of a sudden, age kicks in, and that's it, you know.
Diaz acknowledged Pacquiao's age, stating that while the legend is older, he still possesses skills that make him a tough opponent. However, Diaz pointed out that Barrios, while talented, might not be strong enough to truly challenge Pacquiao at this stage. He believes that despite the age difference, the fight is fairly balanced, with both fighters having their own advantages. For Diaz, it's a fight that could go either way, but the stakes are high for Barrios to prove his worth against a fighter like Pacquiao. As more analysts weigh in, boxing expert Ed Tolentino didn't hold back on his assessment of Pacquiao's performance at his current age. We saw a 45-year-old Pacquiao, a Pacquiao who has not fought in the last 3 years. Tolentino began, emphasizing how much time has passed since Pacquiao's last appearance in the ring. He pointed out that Pacquiao showed signs of slowing down, something that is hard to ignore for any fighter, especially a legend. Tolentino's observation of Pacquiao's performance sheds light on the potential risks for Pacquiao in this fight, given the time he spent out of action. He was slow, and there was no authority in his punches nor balance in his footwork. Tolentino continued, underscoring how Pacquiao's physicality had changed. He suggested that the lack of balance and power in Pacquiao's movements is a serious issue, and it could affect his performance in the ring. Tolentino even went as far as saying that if the fight were scored, Pacquiao might have lost, further calling into question his readiness to return at this level. This analysis adds another layer of doubt about Pacquiao's ability to compete with a hungry fighter like Barrios. Trainer Robert Garcia also weighed in on Pacquiao's return, offering his perspective on the challenges the legend faces at his age.
Do you know, out of everyone in the gym, only one person picked Manny Pacquiao to beat Barrios? But wait.
I thought you too. Manny Pacquiao would.
Why?
Pacquiao's 46 already, man. You gotta know that.
Okay, he picks Pacquiao?
I like Pacquiao.
He picked Pacquiao?
I don't feel old.
He picked Pacquiao.
¿Eso se cuida? I don't know.
I picked Jake Paul too.
Garcia acknowledged that Pacquiao's age is a significant factor, making it tougher for him to compete at the highest level. He stressed that even though Pacquiao has incredible experience, time takes its toll on any fighter. Garcia pointed out that the physical demands of boxing become more challenging as a fighter ages, and this could be a serious disadvantage for Pacquiao against someone like Barrios. While Garcia respects Pacquiao's legacy, he knows that age is something that can't be ignored in this sport, especially when facing younger, hungrier opponents. Robert Garcia's dad, known as Big G, also shared his deep respect for Pacquiao's incredible boxing career, offering a strong statement about his legacy in the sport. His perspective sheds light on why Pacquiao's return continues to generate such massive attention. I've always said I don't know who beats him, but Pacquiao has done more in boxing. Big G began, pointing out that Pacquiao's achievements in the sport are unmatched by many, even comparing him to boxing greats like Floyd Mayweather. He emphasized how Pacquiao's success across multiple divisions is something that sets him apart, showing that his legacy is built on more than just a few victories. Big G makes it clear that Pacquiao's accomplishments are far-reaching and have earned him the title of one of the greatest in the sport. He's conquered more divisions in boxing, more than Floyd, and he's done it clearly. He's lost, but that was a while ago. Big G continued, noting that despite Pacquiao's losses, his career has been defined by his dominance and versatility. He pointed out that Pacquiao has accomplished feats that others only dream of, solidifying his place in boxing history. For Big G, Pacquiao's legacy is secure, regardless of his age or current situation. The upcoming fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios is one that has sparked a lot of debate and excitement across the boxing world. Barrios, on the other hand, has everything to gain. A win over Pacquiao could propel him to the elite ranks of the welterweight division, and even though many believe Pacquiao's best days are behind him, the fact remains that Pacquiao's experience and power still make him a formidable opponent. The fight is a fascinating clash between a boxing icon looking to add to his legacy and a young fighter looking to make his mark. What do you think? Is Pacquiao too old for this fight, or does he have what it takes to win? Can Barrios pull off the upset? Is this Pacquiao's last shot at glory, or does he have more to prove? Will Barrios be the one to stop him from going out on top? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this.